Alright everybody, we're going to be playing another league with Temur Rhinos. Already played one, which you're going to be able to check out in the YouTube. And the deck impressed. The deck really impressed. It did its thing, and when it did its thing, it was amazing, and it always did its thing. So that's kind of what you're signing up for when you are playing what is considered one of the best decks in the format right now. This is Doomwake's list, by the way, so shout out to him for hooking me up with this pretty nicely tuned deck list. And we're gonna play it through another league, so hopefully I'll see you there. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and get ready. All right, another league, another one-lander. Probably this means Tron. I don't think that we can really afford to lose land drops against Tron. We'll go to 5 again. Oops, no, that's fine. There we go. Yep. Lucky for us, it doesn't do anything. This is just like Tron mulling to 7 mana versus mulling to 8 power. It's basically Tron, right? I think I'm just gonna suspend here off of a breeding pool. The reason for that is I may want to force a Karn. And sure, I can like tap, but if they don't have a Tron, then that's kind of a waste. I have to assume that my opponent is, you know, they're competent or whatever, and if they do have the natty Tron, which they don't, okay, never mind. I mean, they didn't have the natty Tron. So let's see if I can just race them. Sure, if they find the natty Tron, then like whatever. They find like, you know, the cycle relic. So they have 2 draw steps to find exactly the Urza's Tower. Yeah, I do think that forcing there is good, particularly because of how my opponent played, right? How they sequence their lands. Why is my opponent stopping in my draw step? Why is there a draw step stop setup? They're playing Tron. When have they ever cared about anything that's not the main phase? All right. Enter finger crossing face. Don't have it. They're not cycling relic. This just blows my... Oh, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Come on. Didn't even cycle the relic, man. Didn't even cycle the relic. Come on, man. You could have played Synchro while they would still hit Tron. Yeah, that's fair. I do think that we have to trade there with the Tusk, because we're going to have to eventually. Now at least we can drop Petty Theft. Why are they not cycling relic, dude? Why are they not cycling the relic? Ah! There we go. Finally, the Cycler Relic. Well, I can confirm that Thragtusk is not their only payoff. It has been confirmed. Thragtusk is not their only payoff. We don't care about this guy, right? Rather have another force. Got the Bone Crushers. I don't have any more cards that I care about at that point, though. I'm not gonna bring in Mystical Dispute. It's just awful. Did Murktide do anything in any matchup so far? So it's like a one-off. It's just a threat, right? I think this is fine. Like Tron is at Bone Crusher is like a 4/3. Like it obviously sucks, but what am I supposed to do? Maybe Murktide is better than a Bone Crusher. It could be. 5 lands, Fire, Ice, Shardless Agent. We have 3 Blood Moons that we're drawing towards. Man, first game, we have 2 1-landers in a row. Now we have 2 5-landers in a row. Yikes. Alright, this hand is good. Okay, so we can keep this. And we're gonna bottom probably both forces. And now we have Blood Moon. So now we have a plan, at least. That's very nice. That's very, very nice. Play land, say go. I could have upkeeped there. Probably should have done that, right? Yeah, that's fine. Going to do Steam Vents. And now it's the question, like, I think I have to slam the moon, probably. Yeah, I think that just icing the land or their upkeep would have been great, because that means that my opponent cannot Expedition Map, they cannot complete Tron, and I can spend this turn to play a Shardless Agent, and then I can resolve the Blood Moon, which would have been a lot better for me. So I think that would have been a lot better. Yeah, I think that upkeeping the ice upkeep would have been the correct line there. Here's 10 power. So if they have Thrag Daddy, I'm just gonna tap it twice. Oh, I can't just tap it twice, never mind. Another fire, nice. They didn't use their mana. I may have to kill this Eldrazi Scion on end step. Maybe upkeep. Let's see what they do. Okay, so that means that they can't Nature's Claim me on end step. So I think I'm just gonna deal 1/1. Fire 1/1. So we can't get, like, I don't know. Although I guess if my opponent was to Wormcoil me, that's great, though. But maybe, I mean, they can play Thrug Daddy anyways. Alright, got him. Bloodmoon, just doing Bloodmoon things. Let's make that switch. This is definitely too many forces. I don't think that we want that many. Should I just have Dead Gone instead of forces? So I can bounce Wormcoils. My opponent's probably going to have Karn the Great Creator, though. Let's do this. There. Can we find not a multi-5 this time? That's kind of not a multi-5. All right. You love to see kind of not a multi-5. We gotta find that basic forest, though. Just good stuff. Just tight play, you know? Basic island. Tap your land. Tight play from opponent, just, you know, having the natural Tron. Very good play from them. Don't Karn me, bro. Steerings reveals Ursa's power plant. Another island. Okay. We're gonna get Footfalls next turn. I think I want to upkeep tap their forest. And just shock them on end step. I think that's the play. This means that if they draw the Nature's Claim, they can't do anything with it. Oh, no. Okay, cool. Can put Jegantha in hand. Oblivion Stone. Yeah, we can bounce that. Cast that. Play land. Shock. Plus 4/3. Shock plus 4/3. Next turn, they play Oblivion Stone. We bounce it again next turn. And they take 12, and then they should be dead. See, I'm trying to see whether I want to shock or I want to hold up Brazen Borwer. I think I want to hold up Brazen Borwer. I just want to card cast this guy. Because I don't think that it takes a turn of the clock. Because that's going to be 4, 8, 12, plus 2 from the shock, plus 2 from the fire. It doesn't take a turn off, so I'm just going to hard cast the Bone Crusher. Because I need it to be a 2-turn clock. They could have Worm Coil, but if they have Worm Coil, then we can just Brazen Borrower. This is bad against Veil of Summer, I guess. And now we're gonna ice on upkeep. Yeah, we only have 2 blue. And now we're gonna ice the basic forest once again on their upkeep. Maybe should have played a land. I don't know. Dude, Fire Ice fucks. We got it. Also got it. All right. Just playing Temur bounce, Temur boomerangs. Temur boomerangs for the win. All right. Yeah. Don't mind if I do. This hand shall be kept. This hand shall be kept. Let us play Lurrus. We can... What are we doing turn 1? We're probably just going to turn 1 Breeding Pool. And suspend the Footfalls. Delta Triumph. Well, it's not a very good draw. If my opponent does have the fairy, we're gonna be in a world of hurt. Oh, they can't have the fairy. What am I even saying? They have Lurrus. Yeah, so this is fine. Play this tapped. More Rhinos. More Rhinos. Lurrus MVP for me? Yeah, exactly. Lurrus looking real good for me here. I think I just untap and just slam this Violent Outburst. Just slam it. Slam it. I could wait till end step, but then I'm opening myself up to counter magic. Discard spell? Oh no. Well, there go my Rhinos. Fury. Should I just play a 4-3? Start putting pressure? What am I afraid of? I think I'm just gonna play a Fury here. I play a Fury, play a Bone Crusher. How many violent outbursts of a violent outburst? Drum below worthy. You're too high on yourself, I think. You're too generous with yourself, Stabs. For ya. DRC, okay. Might as well. So Steven stepped here, pass the turn. Opponent's gonna counterspell the footfalls. I mean, or not. Okay. Is there any way they can have a sweeper here? There's no way they can have a sweeper, right? Why not stun the DRC? Because my opponent has any instant spells. This just gets Delirium. It's a 3/3. So my plan was, you know, force there because it's kind of free. And then if my opponent untaps and they attempt to counterspell my Rhinos, then I can just Bone Crusher when my opponent stepped out and they cannot put another instant to graveyard. He was not tap out. My opponent had 2 lands. That's what I'm thinking, if I should just Fury kill the DRC. I think I do. It kind of forces exactly a Wrath next turn. Okay. And I'm not sure my opponent has a Wrath. Oh, Kaya's Guile. I guess that's a card. Your best sweeper here is Snap plus Round. That's actually kind of accurate. And we already have another Footfalls coming down next turn. So this is looking kind of fine. If opponent Guiles, I think I'm actually sacking the Fury. It is less of a damage output, but it is this dies to bolt and these don't. Learn True Love with the party of 42. Thank you so much for the raid, Learn True Love. Really appreciate the raid, Rich. How did your stream go? Opponent sacks a creature. And now my opponent can't even double block because they know about the Bone Crusher and there's still, you know, 4 Rhinos coming their way next turn. Guile plus Drown. That's a combo. So they're now just dead to the shock that they know is in my hand. What are you playing right now, Rich? Are you just playing Blue-Red Delver? Well, Bloodman seems good against this deck, and so do Disputes. My opponent could be playing Monkey, or they could not be playing Monkey. Honestly, tough for me to know. Clothis does look good, though. Although they could have, what's his name? They could have Chalices. So maybe I'll leave a couple of Prismatic commands. Delver less Delver. Nice. Yeah, just got the bad cards, play the good cards. Dude, like DRC seems kind of messed up in Legacy. When we were talking about it in the podcast, we're just like, wait a second. This card is just like as crazy as we think it is, and it turned out it was. Top tier card analysis. The card that looks busted, it's pretty busted. I was there when I did that. I've been playing it a lot. It's been great. Yeah, the card is just incredible. It's been dominating Modern a lot too. So my opponent has Guile, but what are the chances that my opponent actually exiles my graveyard? Very, very slim, right? So this is actually a great threat against them because it makes their drowns worse. So this is kind of like one of those level kind of things, right? When I'm just like, well, level 1 is my opponent has Kaya's Guile, but the modes of Kaya's Guile, my opponent's never going to be choosing to exile my graveyard, so maybe Murktide is actually just fine. Which one do I think is stronger, Living in the Footfalls? So the way, and we talked about this in the podcast this past week. You can check that out there. Nice little shell. But what was I gonna say? So we were talking about the Cascade decks in terms of like consistency and setup requirements basically, and then that compared to power levels. So for example, the Footfalls deck has like 0 setup, right? Like it requires no setup whatsoever. You just cast your card and you get a couple of 4/4s. But the roof of that card, the power level, is obviously not as high as Living End. Living End is like a Wrath and put like 40 power into play or something, like 20 power. So it is one of those things where everything kind of works in a... Anyway, that's what we were talking about. The way that we were talking about it. Thank you, Edusavase, for the Prime sub. Welcome back. Am I just keeping this? Let's keep it. Maybe it's not as good as I think it is, and my opponent doesn't have as many blue cards that I care about countering. Oh, they have Monkey. Well, my sideboarding is terrible. I didn't know they had Monkey. My sideboarding is gonna be awful. Damn it. Please. You wanna play it? No. No. Huh. Interesting. Oh, they have another discard spell? I mean, that would be a disaster for me. Okay. Kind of don't really care about that. I do care about drawing a blank there, though. That I do care about. That I also do care about. Opponent's mana is greedy. Opponent's mana is sketchy AF. Think we want to do this. Sure, my opponent could have drowned. Maybe drown is a reason for me to not to just play that and shock. They had bolt. Okay, never mind. Just doesn't matter. Well, these disputes are not looking good, huh? Yeah, I think I grossly misboarded. I misunderstood what my opponent's deck was doing, I think. Well, now we're doing something different. Damn it. So this doesn't work, right? They're just gonna take the petty theft. That's unfortunate. Can we draw Prismari command? Have a little 1-2 punch here. Draw Prismari, have a little pam pam pam. Fire Ice. Gross. Opponent's taking a lot of damage. They're not drawing a card. Okay. Well, guess we're doing that. Don't love it, but it's happening. The problem is, like, the monkey gave my opponent so much mana that these disputes are actually just dead. They don't do anything at all. The opponent's artifact, you mean this, Void Mirror? So this is what's preventing me from using this card. So opponent can Lurrus plus monkey, which would honestly be a very big problem for us. And then we can, I guess we can monkey. They're snap casting. It's bad. It's bad for me. It's bad for the good guys. Yep. That's something that will happen. Yeah, dispute is bad, but I misevaluated what my opponent's deck was trying to do. After seeing game one, I thought that my opponent's deck was gonna be doing something significantly different than what it turned out. So obviously my sideboarding is very poor. If we lose this game, I'm going to significantly change my sideboarding options. I'm kind of disputing anything right here. Literally anything that they do, I will dispute. Damage to any target, destroy target artifact. Prismatic kill Rhinos, because I only have 5 mana. Oh, because of the treasure? Yeah, that would have been better. I honestly forgot that there was like something else that the card did. Yeah, you're right. That would have been better. Yeah, that would have been a lot better. Could have engineered explosives, that would be a problem. But explosives is the only card that I'm afraid of here, I think. I am disputing the Lurrus, I think. Opponent can pay, but they will need to fetch. And then the Lurrus is just chump blocking because the only thing they can get back is a Chalice. Putting that in one card. It better be a good one. They could have Monkey plus Bolt. That's how we lose this game. But barring Monkey plus Bolt, I think I guess explosives, right? That's a way to find Monkey plus Bolt or engineered explosives. Explosives blows up my opponent's Chalice. Just good stuff. Just overall, some fun interactive magic. Some synergies, you know? Some synergies. Yeah, missing lethal there is kind of a big miss. Oh, that's right, they can't Eon Zero because of their own Chalice. That's hilarious. Also, their mana prevents them from just casting spells here. Just gonna okay. Just gonna ending. Dude, like this Chalice is doing work for me. So we got many cards that do it here. That's one of them. That's one of the cards that does it. GG's. Another Modern match, another Lurrus of the Dream Den match. I'm keeping this hand though. Seems fine against Lurrus. Turn 1 Footfalls. River of Tears. Wow. Hard to not be excited about this. An opponent's 2-0. Red card off the top one time. Red card off the top one time. Any red card. Damn it. Unfortunate. I wanna know. I can't. Okay, so how are we doing this? Did they mean to sign up for standard? Maybe. Mistakes were made. I think I'm bouncing something. Get steam vents. I think I'm gonna bounce the most expensive one of them. The idea being I need to make sure that they had another one drop. Like I wanted them to tap out. That was the thought process there. I need them to tap out main phase so I can resolve my shardless. I'm getting kind of milled. Alright, red card off the top one time. Red card. Red card. Damn it. I guess we're just gonna have to put some power into play. We got force up. Know the enemy roll league? Yeah, probably not gonna happen. The idea is to play real decks. We did play against rogues the other day. I think it was with Amulet. And we played against the same opponent twice. We beat them one of those matches. Rogues is a real deck on Arena? Sure. Guess it's okay in Standard. Another one of those dudes. Okay. Is my opponent's plan to just mill me? Or are they just planning to... Jeez, never found a red card. I think they may be planning to kill me in the air plus bolt me. We attack here, opponent takes it, and now we have a couple of options. I think that the best option for me is to agent and find the last footfalls. This means that I die to Lightning Bolt right here on my end step, but I think that this is my better shot anyway. This is my best chance at winning. Now if they have Bolt, at least I have one layer of protection, so I'm forcing them also to have something. Yeah, can't force that one. Brutal. Well, this card seems good. This card seems above average there. Man, we had the Fury in hand. Like, it would have been a major blowout, and we just never found the freaking... We just never found the red card for it. Pretty devastating. So I think I want all my shocks. Maybe I can cut down on borrowers. Clothes is interesting. Yeah, we're slinging some Rhinos, Wamulet. That's the name of the game. It's been fun. It's been fun. So many one-landers today. Jeez. So we're keeping this. I think I send the Prismari command. Actually, I think I want to send the Fire and Ice. The reason for that is it makes it so if my opponent does have a Chalice or like Void Mirror or something, we actually have an answer in hand, and we don't have that many in the deck right now. So I think I'll follow Koskadeli. Play that Seko. We're the bad guys now. I mean, that's the whole point of Know Thy Enemy. What am I bringing in Force of Vigors for? I am not. Force of Vigors over there. Did you try one of Valakut Awakening, more line count, and red card? That's interesting. I mean, this is not my list. Again, I'm not a specialized Rhinos player by any means. This is Doomwake's list. You just send it to me, and I just copied and pasted it. So can we just pass here? I mean, my opponent is going to need to blink first because I have these footfalls coming, so that means that we just time walk them a bunch. So one is gonna drown, or just straight up counterspell. It's cool. I think we're just gonna Shardless Agent here. Rhinos. They have another counterspell. Drown the lock probably. Okay. Want a good deal on some of these fancy cards? If you want a good deal on some of these fancy cards that I play, you could of course get them from TCG Player, and you can support the stream for free while you do so. So very, very good deal. Also, if how can I get the cards if you need support for the stream? Exactly. Not only that, but if you're more into the whole MTGO thing, you can also use Mana Traders, a rental service, which is what I use to get all the cards that I'm missing here. Probably shipping this. Very good service, and you can get all the cards that you want. It's not bad. We're kind of running out of gas here. We're kind of running out of gas. Still a bit of MH2 you need in paper. Sweet. Make sure you use my affiliate link. You can support the stream for free. No! My outburst. You know what I would like to draw? Murktide Regent. Can we draw a Murktide Regent? This is not exciting, but I think it's what I have to do. I need to put some pressure. I'm gonna get buried by Lurrus otherwise. Yeah, it's not looking good out here. 3 footfalls are gone. Would love to draw a Murktide Regent. That's probably my best draw. Soaring Thought Thief. Probably losing here. So the disputes are dead at this point. Probably gonna have to just hardcast that. Sure wish I had drawn some good cards. I'm gonna follow Rasta. Such a weird matchup. I mean, yeah, we're just kind of flooded. And my opponent has the same amount of lands that I did, but they actually had a shit ton of 2-for-1s. So they didn't really flood. Alright, real card time. Draw a real card time right here. It's not a real card. So I guess I'm just gonna have to save this to kill the Lurrus, and then I just die to their Thoughts Thieves. Just pretty fucked, aren't I? What are the odds played against Rogue Tribal? Not very high. Not very high. For this, the thing is, I don't think that this deck cares too much about card advantage. The thing is that my opponent had all the answers for my Rhinos, right? And we were exactly, our draw was exactly awkward enough, basically. Our draw was exactly awkward enough for it to not be able to play against my opponent's efficient draw. Like, we didn't draw any forces, we didn't draw, you know, we just drew a bunch of lands. Need some sort of colors. Well, the thing is that, you know, the idea is you're just doing your thing faster. That's kind of neat, actually. All right. See you next round. All right. I don't think this hand is going to be a keep. I guess this one's fine. I think I'm sending the footfalls. Hallowed Fountain is always a scary one because... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say Hallowed Fountain is always scary because of Teferi Unraveler, but my opponent's playing the Ursa deck. Sweet. That deck looks awesome. Kinda dig it. So they play Ursa. I'm gonna shock the construct. Stomp over there. It's a blue card, that's kind of nice. So we can outburst here. I'm probably not gonna hardcast the Fury. But my opponent is just gonna start activating Ursa Saga, and those constructs are gonna be huge. Yikes. This actually matters a lot because this makes the constructs bigger. Which is kind of a big deal. Because they're going to be 5/5s next turn. Which is going to be larger than all of my Rhinos. Racing is gonna be rough. Feel like I have to draw another card so I can kill the Ursa. Another red card, I mean. I'll the red 33, thank you for the follow. That's exactly that. It's another red card. Attack! Cast this, and I guess my opponent did not make the construct. I think I would actually... Oh my god, are they gonna make the construct here? I think I actually have to kill the construct. I think I actually have to kill the construct here as opposed to the Ursa. Because if I kill the Ursa, my opponent is going to make some constructs over there. This also makes their constructs a little bit smaller. Don't get me wrong, we're not in good shape. Don't be confused, we're not in good shape. But nobody knows. That's part of the magic. This literally just happened. If this is a portable hole, okay, what can we draw here? Is there anything that we can draw? Yeah, Brazen Borrower. If we draw Brazen Borrower, I think that we have a shot. If we draw exactly Brazen Borrower, we have a shot. Well, Murktide's not great in the face of Fate or Spellbomb. So it probably needs to be Borrower. Oh. Prismari Command, I guess. Prismatic Command, Brazen Borrower, Force of Negation. Totally forgot that this was a card, actually. It's pretty funny. Man, second Ursa Saga, jeez. Dude, Ursa is so great. If only we had a plant token on Slayer's Stronghold. The good old times. I'm not forcing that because my opponent can still spin Ursa. They might find something a little bit more threatening. Please don't gain life. Okay, so how do we win? We top deck Prismari Command, and then immediately we draw another Prismari Command. Or Brazen Borrower. And my opponent draws nothing but lands for the remainder of the game. Even when they spin Ursa, they always spin lands. Ha! They can only work for 0. Wait. Oh, they just cast it but got nothing? Oh, yeah, they just cast it and got nothing. No, they're not cryptic. No cryptic commands in this list. Cryptic commands are not a great card, unfortunately. It would be great here, but not really a great card. Hasn't aged well. Wow. If we drop Prismari Command, we actually have a shot at winning this because my opponent tapped low. Prismari Command? Damn it! We can potentially kill the Ursa next turn, I guess. If we find a land, I guess. Thopter Foundry. So now that probably locks us out. This list used to play Jace, yeah. Another card that hasn't aged well. I like what my opponent's doing over there, though. I kind of want to give that list a shot as well. Looking good here. I think that was the window. I think that we're out now. I think like that was the window to draw something, and we are now SOL. Opponent is spinning. I love how much Ursa takes to win, you know? Like, it just takes so many permutations of just doing stuff. Also, I love how Moto rearranges your things midway through, so it's a little bit harder, you know? Should have killed Ursa. Yeah, nothing like some good old, you know, what's the word? Results-oriented thinking. I was playing to win the game, and I felt at that point like in order to win that game I needed to get rid of one of the constructs, because it was the only way that I would have been able to push through damage. Now you show up. So they block, block, block. 1, 2. I mean, I probably have to do it. And then try to do it again next. But next turn I'm not gonna have another one. So the issue is that they have Thopter Foundry, and they also have this Aether Spell on chilling here. So I think I'm just gonna try to. The thing is just it's not really getting better for me. Yeah, I guess I should have gone for it, force some action. Because there's also now the possibility that my opponent has multiple draws that actually win them the game. Like the sword. So end step Racing Borrower, Bounce Bridge. That's pretty good. Opponent has gone through half of their deck. Still no sword. I would beat it on the crackback. That's fair. That's fair. That's not a good attack. Maybe my opponent will tap low for no reason. That's not tapping low. It sucks that they can't even make the mistake because they don't have enough mana. All right, that's the nail in the coffin right there. That one right there is the nail in the coffin. Okay. So all of these cards I'm interested in. Maybe Fury better than Bone Crusher? Because Fury kills Ursa, Bone Crusher doesn't. This deck needs one wish and one creep to command the board. Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to cast that anyway. Spore War's fine against constructs. 2 Blood Moons, 3 Disputes. Because Disputes answers Ursa and nothing else, right? Because once Ursa is in play, Dispute just doesn't do anything. Yuck. Okay. Okay. Keep. Bottom the Fury. Breeding Pool. Do that. Pass. See if it can hear weird fun. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, once there's an Ursa in play, the Dispute is just not going to counter anything because my opponent's going to have infinite mana. That's what I meant. Still don't know whether I'm going to Blood Moon on 3 or not. Where we are. We're Blood Moon on 3. Well, we can't do that, so I guess we have to find specifically island or just gonna leave ourselves without any blue mana. Oh man, we even found the island, but we don't have a red. Gonna do this, I think. Why keep that gone? It bounces constructs. Maybe I should be cutting it though. Here's a Blood Moon, mate. Okay, so we're gonna need to find the command or something like that. Force. Because this dude's gonna kind of clock us. I guess we can double block it. No, we really can't. No, we can, actually. Would love to see Prismara Command, Force, one of those. I think I am just hard casting this Fury here. Killing the construct. Opponent can't wear, so this should be good. Is this Blood Moon gonna get me home? Take me home, Blood Moon. Portable hole. Oh, command. Ending. Interesting. Interesting that they would ending there because that was probably their answer to Blood Moon. Or maybe they have another ending. Because now they can ending the Blood Moon if they want to. I think that's fine. Maybe I should have countered that. That's fine. I guess I did open myself to now die to the sword. But now I get to feel smart because I saved the dispute for a card that actually mattered a lot more. Green card. Dead gone. Okay. 6 yeah. Upkeep fire then. So this forces my opponent to either sack the Thopter Foundry or their white mana. Okay, so now I don't lose to... Now I don't lose to the sword. Let's go to combat. Attack. Before blocks, we fire 1 and 1. Sweet, got him. Alright, game 3. Dead gone out. So Blood Moon seems really good against them. So let's bring another one of those. And they showed me the fairy, so maybe disputes are not as good. And I want the fourth fury, so I can kill resolve the fairies. Yeah, the Sand slaps. His hand slaps. Rhinos. Rhinos. So I think I'm just gonna yeah, we're gonna find the second blue source here, and I'm gonna upkeep, tap my opponent's Triumph. There's an argument for tapping their Saga. Is tapping their Saga better? Because just locks up their mana. Yeah, I think actually tapping the Sagas is better. Because they're not yet on the second chapter. They could have the fairy here, that would suck. Goblin Engineer. right, Blood Moon, do your thing. I think I'm gonna Fury as well. Do I Fury as well? I think I'm gonna follow with Ton Daddy. I think we Fury, right? We Fury, kill the engineer, and next turn we Shardless Agent, we put some pressure. I'm saving the second Fury because that means that I can answer a potential Ursa. Brutal. Guess I should have pitched the other guy. I guess I have to hold Shardless Agent. No, right? There's no way I hold Shardless Agent to pitch the Force. There's a Moon in play, so I cannot actually cast this Force of Vigor. No, I have to Agent, I think. Because my opponent, if they want to have their Thopter Foundry come back, they are gonna need to sack their Talisman, which means that they don't have colored mana. And they only have one artifact, so then they're gonna have to sack the Thopter Foundry to make a token. Alright, punished. Punished. This is also very bad if my opponent has engineered explosives, right? That's a sick draw, however. I mean, not sick, but like we get to kill the engineer at least. The problem is that if my opponent has Ursa, we now lose. No, because they have to sack the Talisman in order to, so they're not gonna have access to a second blue source. So they can't Ursa me here. They're probably gonna activate Thopter Foundry, and now they're gonna have their combo going. But now they have no blue mana. And now if we find the green card, we should be fine. Opponent has no colored mana, but they can make a bunch of Thopters every turn. They can make 4 Thopters every turn, but that's on game 4 life. Still kind of not good enough. And they don't have any colored mana. I don't think they can brace. Send everything. Hold it onto the land because of Prismari command. Down to 2 and say go. Snare and bridge. That's how they stole game 1. Should have probably attacked first. Yeah, I'm not sure my opponent knows that my Rhinos trample. Right click, attack all. Turn them sideways. Why go through so much trouble? All right, I will click some more, I guess. Yeah, they wanted to make me work for it, I guess. They're like, yeah, you shall press those buttons. Like, okay, sounds good. See you next round. Here we go. Last round of the day. This seems like a good hand on the draw. What do you think, Chad? What do you think, Chad? Is this a good hand on the draw? Now, what are we pitching? We're just pitching footfalls, right? Feeling so smart. Now the question is, do we bounce monkey? I think we bounce monkey right now. It forces opponent, if they want to attack, they have to dash it. Yeah, I'm gonna bounce monkey right now. So this bounces, opponent can attack if they want to. They dash, attack, and then that means that they only have a single mana, and then their mana next turn is locked up again, and then we just get to Violent Outburst, and we play around Counterspell. Yeah, so this is perfectly fine because I'm gonna tap a Shadowless Agent. And now my opponent's mana is super stuck. Island, Shardless. We have to be mindful that we only have 3 footfalls because we pitched the 4th one to our gemstones. Literally no reason to do that, right? No reason to do that before they draw the card. That's just like bad sequencing from my opponent. Just a bad play. Because they would have had more, they would have had the information from their draw step before having to do anything else. 6, yeah. Go. If they fetch, I'm gonna outburst in response. Play around Counterspell this way. No, even with Murktide, it's just a bad play because they use the Treasure mana. And that Treasure, whether they do it on my turn or they do it on their turn, that Treasure is gone. So it is a lot better for them to untap, have the information of how their hand is gonna look, and then make the decision whether of what they want to do. I totally forgot how we were sideboarding here. I remember that the dead guns were coming in. And I remember the disputes coming in. But I'm kind of blanking on what we're supposed to cut. We have not cast this Murktide a single time this entire stream. Big Show, thank you for the follow. Yeah, if my opponent had open mana, then obviously it's a lot better for them to do that stuff on instead. But since their mana that they use for some of the treasure, then there's just no reason to do that. I honestly can't remember how the sideboarding went. I think that Doom was bringing in Fire Spouts. I think that was the case. I'm gonna keep this hand. Oddly enough, not a bad draw. In that specific circumstance, in that specific scenario, not necessarily a bad draw. Please don't enable Delirium. Oh, this one's probably gonna get Delirium, I assume. Another bubble to the bin. Wow, only 2 creature types. That's insane. That is absolutely crazy. Well, I'm just gonna get a basic island here. I'm just gonna Bone Crusher this thing. That's how you stomp on it. What's the funnest modern deck you've played? Not the best, the most fun. That's a good question, Big Show. I do have a lot of fun. Oh, Astral Wren. Yes, Astral Wren. Astral Wren is a brew of mine that it's hilarious. Like it's a lot of fun. Let me see if I yes, I have the list here. So it's not very good. It's not very good, but it is a really good time. So the combo is Astral Drift, and you have like 8 cycle lands, and then you just get them back with Wrenn 6. And then you have like a bunch of random ETB triggers, and you accrue value that way. And you also have Containment Priest, so you can exile your opponent's creatures. And you exile your opponent's creatures, and then when they come back, they get exiled. I think you stop laughing to release with that deck. Yeah, whenever I play Astral Wren, it's just such a good time, man. Such a great time. Well, I think it's race o'clock. And we're not ahead in this race. But we have the eyes to tap their dude. So maybe, just maybe, we can stabilize for long enough. Never mind. Cancel that order. We can never win. Cancel that order. We can never ever win. Okay, so I can draw. This is not actual lethal, right? I'm taking 9 down to 4. Yeah, this is not lethal. So I can draw Brazen Borrower? No Brazen Borrower? So unlucky, man. So unlucky. That was near unbeatable. No, I mean, you can have removal spells that kill the Murktide region, right? But we just didn't. because just by nature, all of our deck doesn't really have that many ways to answer Murktide Regent. Another no-lander. Tempo. Tempo. One draw of the ice. No, we didn't have the draw of the ice because if we are casting ice, then we're just losing. Like we actually have no outs. Thought Scour the best ramp in Modern. That is way too true, my friend. So my opponent's holding up. They're just telegraphing the most obvious counterspell to have ever been telegraphed. I think that's what's going on over there. The good thing is that, again, we suspended Footfalls on one, so we're just kind of chilling in a way. Do you want to just play this Bone Crusher? I think I want to just cast this Bone Crusher. Feel free to counter this. They scar themselves, that's fine. Yeah, well, I'm keeping the Brazen Borrower for their Murktide, obviously. Here come the Rhinos. Surprise, my opponent had counterspell? Wild. That Murktide is gone. Dude, a red bounce spell is just so sick. That's what I'm talking about now. For ya. Maybe I messed up there. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have done the thing the previous turn when they tapped out. Because now that opens me up to dispute. I should have outbursted earlier. Because if they have their own dispute or fluster. Easy game. Easy game. Back-to-back 4-on-1s. Dude, this deck is just... It's just solid. No, it wasn't a 5-0, it was 4-1. Remember, we lost to Grixis Rogues, so it couldn't be a 5-0 because Grixis Rogues stole it from us. This deck just has so many good cards. All of these cards are good and so expensive. Of course they're great. Of course the deck is awesome. Yeah, Grixis Rogues is what owned us. That was our one loss. So yeah, this deck is good. Like honestly, I don't even know if I have any thoughts about this deck besides it's just good. Like this is what good decks look like. This deck is just not messing around, no tricks, no nonsense. It's just robust, powerful, proactive, and it has just enough interaction, and the interaction is powerful enough that it has tools against every single deck in the format. It's very, very powerful. We didn't play against any sort of like living end style deck, so I wonder if there's like a need for us to be playing some amount of endurances or something like that. That is a card that I would definitely, if I were, you know, working on this deck or tuning this deck, that I would keep on the back burner, you know, kind of like thinking about it and trying to figure out whether it would be, there's like a meta game where I would want it or whatnot. But besides that, I was just overall very, very impressed by every single card. Like this card was super impressive. This is probably like the most medium out of all the cards. But like all the other cards, like the Outburst and the Agent getting your footfalls, very impressive. Prismari Command was also just sick. Answering, you know, people's hate. We didn't get to cast the Murktide Legend even a single time, so I'm not even sure how good this card really is, but I've seen other players and I've seen it cast, and I saw it be very, very good. Borrower was probably the most important. It was probably the most impressive card out of all the entire list. The most, like, let me rephrase that. It was the most surprisingly good card in the entire list. Because, like, you know, you were playing Fury and you think, yeah, like, this card is obviously going to be busted. You know, this card is obviously going to be great. This card is always, of course, going to be great. But Brazen Borrower was just surprisingly very good. Just being able to bounce your opponent's nonsense cards, particularly Murktide, was such a big deal. I really, really liked how Brazen Borrower played with the deck. Particularly like game 1 Chalices and instead bounce your Brazen Borrower, just like untap, Rhino you, kill you in a couple of turns. Like that, those kind of play patterns worked out super, super well, and the deck just felt crazy smooth. I do feel like I shipped a lot of one-landers. Like I mulled to 6 or 5 very, very consistently. Like I don't think... I think I moved to 5 or 6 more than I kept 7s in this league because I was shipping so many 1-landers or 5-landers, I guess. Way more 1-landers than 5-landers, let me tell you. But yeah, still the deck managed to deliver a very, very robust 4-1 in 2 separate occasions. So Thomas, thank you for the follow. So yeah, this deck is the real deal. This deck is the real deal. It delivers the business. And it's actually kind of fun. Like I actually had a good time in these 2 leagues that I played. So yeah, it's a very, very enjoyable deck. I highly, highly recommend it. 24 lands seems like too much though. Yes, I mean, yes and no, because you are a deck that can't really do anything until it hits land drop number 3, right? And you also have Prismari commands, so you can prevent yourself from flooding. So I could definitely see this deck playing 24 lands for sure. I could definitely see this deck playing 24 lands. And you can even make, like, if you are, you know, if you really are afraid of flooding or something like that, I could see land number 24 being a Kitria Triome. So that, you know, if you have like a normal hand, you just like fetch it on turn 1 and then you're just set for the rest of the game. Like your mana's obviously going to be close to perfect. And if you don't, like if you draw it in the late game, sure, like cycling for 3 mana is not the best. It's not the best deal, but it's better than nothing, you know. But with access to Prismari Command, like I don't think I really flooded that much. The only match where I flooded was against the blue-red deck. That was the only time that I flooded. Every other time I was just using my mana in fact, all the other time I wished I had more mana because I was just doing so many things between, you know, like your Brazen Borrowers and like casting and bouncing the stuff. You were drawing cards with Far and Eyes. You don't want to Prismari Command. You oftentimes want to make it to 6, so you get to like play either one of these while also holding up 4s, or while, you know, using Dispute, whatever. Like we found ourselves in multiple times where I wanted to have access to one more land. The only card that was kind of awkward was the Forces. The Forces were kind of stuck in my hand. Like they were nuts, right? Like when we played against Hammer Time twice, and they were obviously insane there. But I feel like we got really lucky because the deck doesn't really have that many green cards. So we found ourselves multiple times in a situation where we had maybe a Force in hand, and I was just kind of waiting until I found the green card so that I could actually cast the Force that was sitting in my hand. Where's the deck list? But besides that, I mean, I don't think that necessarily means that I'm trying to, you know, cut the thing or something. Oh, that's right, because Doom had it with this silly name. Resident Sleeper Rhinos. There we go. So yeah, the Forces were the only kind of... It just felt like we did not have enough cards to support the Forces. Which we don't. We only have 12. We only have 12, and if you're bringing in the Forces, you have like 16. So like the likelihood of you being stuck with a Force of Vigor in your hand is actually quite high. Sure, you can pay for it with like Prismari Command mana or whatever, but it's not easy. 24 seems like a lot, but you need to hit 3 colors by turn 3. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, right? Your deck does nothing until you get to 3 mana. Your deck does literally nothing, and you can't really cantrip looking for those lands. Like, sure, you can fight, you can ice and like hope that you get a little bit lucky, you know, just like ice your opponent's land on their upkeep or whatever. You can do that kind of play, but besides that, your deck doesn't do anything until like it gets to 3 mana. So it's just paramount. Like the only way that you can win is if you have access to the 3 mana. So I could definitely see going up to 24 lands, and yeah, sure, like making that land a Triumph or something or whatever, but. I understand why the deck is not playing Triumphs, because obviously you want that 3rd land to be untapped, but, you know, just by having the Triumph in your deck, you're just adding more potential draws for yourself. And sure, like if you happen to draw the Triumph, it sucks, but... I mean, I guess it doesn't even suck. You can just play turn 1, and you're not doing anything on turn 1 anyways. Anyway... that was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Leave me a comment down below, and take care. Bye bye.